All right, you guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Holly if you're new, and today I bring you part 2 to the knee video I did a few weeks ago. All that knee pain we experience from running, or so we think, I am solving it one step at a time. And first things first, we got on the foam roller, we did some stretches, and hopefully you guys are feeling relief from that. But we wouldn't be totally successful without pairing all that with some strength work right around the knee joint. That's what I'm giving you today. My favorite routine for building the strength around the knees. This really works. It doesn't require any equipment unless you choose to add weight to each of the exercises. I'm gonna break it all down for you today, give you what you need, and most importantly, we will start by me explaining why your knees are not the problem, why you weren't given this bad set of cards in your life and you just have bad knees and can't run. I promise you guys, you just don't have a good strength and stretch system in place yet to put you out on the road in good run form for the longest period of time possible. Let's jump in. All right, guys, I know how annoying it is when you click on a video like this and you just want to see the exercises, know what you need to do to fix your problem and be done with it. And instead, the whole beginning is just a bunch of talking and it feels like unnecessary fluff that you have to fast forward through. This is not that, I promise. I would not include this part of the video if it wasn't important. Just bear with me for just this tiny little bit. I'll keep it succinct, God willing. But you have to understand where problems come from. And I've learned that the hard way several times. You are not just whack-a-moling down the pain points until they're finally one day gone. You have to understand why they came up in the first place and why you are in this headspace potentially of thinking you're just not cut out for the sport of running. You don't have bad knees, as I said. You have unstable knees potentially. You have very tight legs potentially, or both. And we can fix those problems. So anytime something comes up in the future, whether it's hip, shoulders, feet, whatever it is, start to ask yourself, what do I do on a daily basis, weekly basis, to put myself in the best position possible for that sport, okay? Running is very repetitive. We do it over and over, days, weeks, months, years in a row, and we are gonna feel anything residual if we're doing it improperly. So I have to start here by saying the knee is between our ankle and our hip. It takes so much of the shock when we land on the ground in that run. So our foot is the first thing to strike, but we have the weight of our body on top of the knee as well. There's a lot that can happen with every step. And if we do not have muscle around the knee to support solid alignment every time we land, it gets rocked around and things can happen very quick. It can really wear it down. On top of that, if we're also tight from having run for several days in a row, maybe even through pain a little bit, and we're not doing anything restorative, anything related to the foam roller or stretching as I gave you in the first video, you're also starting to compensate for all the areas that are tight. And I explained that more in that video, so I won't double down here. But we need stable knees that are strong. We need that layer of muscle to really help absorb that shock. We need stretching in between to make sure we're well aligned so we can land perfectly straight to the best of our abilities every run. Over time, your body thanks you for this. So in today's video, all I'm gonna do is give you the strength portion. 4 movements today. I love these movements. They're all gonna be body weight. You can add weights to them as you get better at them or want to just make things more difficult. But I'm gonna give you proper form today, show you what you're doing, and you would really feel how sore you're gonna be. Even after one round of this workout, you will be sore in the right area and you will start to see where your weaknesses were around your form. Let's get into it, guys, the exercise number 1. All right, so first up, we've got the frog squat. I first learned this at F45 and I've been in love with it ever since. It's a really, really good one. Strengthens right here in that little corner above the knee. You'll be sore for sure from this one. So you're gonna start about hips width here. Normal squat position. We're gonna think knees out, chest is up just a little bit, and we're gonna use our elbows in this one to press into the knees. So creating that torque, that pressure against them. So you don't even have to think about knees out because the elbows will do it. So what we're gonna do is lower into the squat. Hips are going back, full feet on the ground, and we get these elbows inside the knees here. From there, all we're gonna do is shoot our hips up behind us, flatten. It's a good little hamstring stretch. And then come down to that squat again. So this is pressing out the whole time. We go back, abs are on, of course. I even sit back in my heels a little, and then I come down. So really pushing down as low as you can. Hips go back and forward, like a little seesaw motion here. I am telling you guys, even just from these few reps right here, I'm already feeling that work super hard, that area, and chest is up. That's the gist of that one. I'm gonna show you one more time from the front. This looks like it's not much, but I'm telling you it burns. We're down, chest is up as much as I can. I push it back, and here, just like that. These reps, this is what it would look like if you're doing a few in a row. It almost looks like a stretch or like you're not doing anything, but it really gets it. So that is exercise number 1, that's the frog squat. Moving right along, we've got a good old-fashioned split squat, Bulgarian split squat, I don't really know the difference. We're gonna have our back leg elevated, no weights on this unless you wanna add them. You can hold dumbbells at your sides, put them up on your shoulders, whatever you want. Back leg is elevated. I like starting with a lower surface rather than going all the way up to like a bench height or something that's right in line with your hips, especially if you're not very flexible yet. This is perfect, the edge of a step, whatever you've got. You are standing and supported on this front leg here, and that is gonna be the main focus of this exercise in my version of this. Some people like more weight back here, but I really want you focused on that standing leg, so all the work's gonna be happening there. This is just along for the ride and for balance. You can see I'm a little bit off. I'm not on a tightrope here where the leg's right behind, a little bit off. Hold on to something, use a pole, something if you need better setup. Don't risk falling over, please. From here, guys, we're just gonna do a squat on that single leg, getting our hips back. We're gonna really use the glute here, but of course, we're really focusing on that quad. Again, nice, strong support and some balance work, which helps strengthen the shin, all of which is helping the knee. So I'll go hands on the hip to start, just to make it easier. I'm gonna relax, take weight off here, and I'm gonna sit my hips back, keeping the chest up towards you guys. And I'm gonna get as low as I can. From here, I dig through that left heel. It'll look like my right on here. And we're gonna stand up through that heel. Lots of glutes, like I said in this one, but also a ton of quads. Should feel like both. We're gonna go down and up. This can get really tough too. So when you start this one, and I'll say it in the workout, very small number of reps off the get because you don't want to overdo it in the wrong position. So I want you guys to make sure everything's going correctly. From the side, I just want to show you, pretend my back leg is elevated. I'm not letting the knee come forward like this. I am getting hips back. It'll be a little bit forward, but you need to get space to get low. So I don't want it shoved forward with the knee. I want you guys back, solid and square, and really being able to find a vertical shin and really grind through a lower position than you might get if we were just doing normal squats. So we'll obviously do both sides of that in that one. And if you need extra support, you can hold on to the pole or the wall as you do it. Once you find your balance, really good to work that actual balance throughout the exercise. So next up, we're gonna be doing a little lateral movement, and this is really important for cross strengthening against that forward motion of running. In running, we're always stepping the same way, forward, forward, forward. If we break it up with side to side motion in our strength work, we're extra supported as we land in that running. Really good to kind of cross strengthen here. So this one's gonna be a step outside lunge with a little balance in between. So you're gonna stand just 2 feet, normal weight on both, and then we're gonna step out to land down in a little half squat on this leg. Again, you've seen the theme here, vertical shin, stepping out, and from here we press off back this way, and we're gonna balance. And I like to balance here high knee and hold for a second. We go out, land right in the middle of the foot, chest is up, but my hips are back, so I'm allowed to be folded over here, really feeling that, and then I push back and hold. Option for this one, if you want it, if you want to be a little bit more complicated, this might be the dancer in me, but you can go out, you can come back, and then you can do one leg extension, really squeeze through here, that same area we worked at the beginning, come back in and go back to it. So it would look like this, back in, extend as hard as you can, back in and go. Really good one. You will feel the hip flexor work, but that's fine. We can strengthen those too. So I really like this one because it challenges each individual leg, and in the lateral motion, we usually find some things we don't find in a normal run, kind of putting it under the microscope. So when I use a little force to step out, I see what my leg does on that landing, and that's really important to know. So if I step out and my knee's always caving in, it might be that my adductor is tight and or weak. We can fix that on a daily basis, but it's good to know it, work on that, and then we're not going out for that 5-mile run blind and not understanding why the pain came up in the first place. So we're gonna step out to the side. I'll just show you one more time from this way. You know, chest is up, hips are back, and then from here, I push back, try to catch my balance, belly button in. I can extend the leg out if I want or not. It can be high or low, but really squeeze through the quad. I bring it back in and repeat. That is the third movement. Bringing it down here for movement number 4. This one's so good and very unassuming. It looks like it won't be very hard, but it burns so good. Crouched plank position. We're gonna be in a normal plank, but basically brought into a tight little ball. We're gonna be slightly off the ground, and you're gonna feel it load up right here because we've got all of our weight being supported in that section of the quad, just like we worked in the frog squat. So hands are gonna be right under the shoulders like we normally do. Knees are gonna be right under the hips. So find that little tabletop here. We're gonna tuck our toes under, belly button pulls in a little, and you are just slightly coming off the ground. My knees barely come off the ground. Just up, pressing tight into those toes, into the balls of the feet and the hands, and you are just loading those quads up. You guys will not believe how much this burns. Super, super good. It's good to do these movements that are actual motion and balance work, but to do an isometric hold, load it up, and make it strong is really important to include in our routine, which is why we're finishing with it. If you want, you can play with a little rock, forward, back, side to side, to again, identify anything's going on near the knee. So if I come up and do a couple forward, back, side to side, I might say, oh, outside of my left leg really starts to pull if I push sideways to the right, something like that. But again, it helps you light up those areas that you can then tackle on the foam roller. And again, the problem's gone once you find it, if it's early enough. And that's why we do these things. So that's that crouch plank, guys, just like this. Super hard, super challenging, even just for a few seconds. Really good one though. Those are the 4 movements today. So here's the workout. You've got 4 rounds total. You're doing 15 of the frog squats. You're doing 10 each side of your Bulgarian split squat. 10 on the first side, 10 on the second. You're doing 10 of your lateral step out. You can add the leg extension, maybe every other rep or every rep or none of the reps. 10 and 10, and you finish with an accumulated 1 minute in that crouched plank. Do small sections of that to build up to the 1 minute. You can do 15 seconds rest, 15 seconds, 30 seconds twice, whatever you need to get to the 1 minute. And then you take a full 2-minute break before going to round 2. Drink water during the break, do a little self-massage on the quads, they'll be burning. And you do 4 rounds total. Now, if any of the movements are getting compromised as you go through, say I'm on rep number 6 in round 3 on my step out lunge, and it is not going well, my back's arched, I'm not getting that low, it's starting to feel like I'm doing it wrong, then you stop at rep number 6 and then match it on the other side, and that's what you'll do for the following round as well. Or you can just take more rest throughout the workout so that every time you do something, you're doing it well. The whole point of this video, circling back to the beginning, if we repeat things over and over in bad form, we will get hurt. There is no question about it, we will. When you do things well, you teach your body to keep doing it well. It is stronger in the long haul. You can go longer and longer and you're running with that. Lastly, guys, remember that when we work on our strength, we break things down to build them back up stronger. So adding strength work in will actually help heal and repair your body faster and more efficiently. So if you are dealing with aches and pains, it's weird, but strength is gonna make that feel better pretty much right away. So trust me on that. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. And if you want a follow along version of the workout I gave you today, check out my Patreon. It's gonna be linked down below and you can work out alongside me. I'll be suffering right there and it'll be great. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.